that I can take care of later. And I'll get Henry involved as we get closer, because he'll be the one likely putting all that stuff in.
Yeah.
Most of it, I know what it means. Part of what I didn't, that could mean something you checking into yet from your end. That prep stuff, is that the way you prep it now? Is there something different there?
For the most part, it's the way I prep it now. I think as far as you taking it and delivering it to Amazon's dock, you don't have to worry too much about the prep, except when you get involved with other vendors. Because if you're, of course, we wouldn't want me making a mistake, but I'm going to do my best not to do that. But if you deal with some other vendor, like trying to cut corners or something, and you get turned away at the dock, then you just have to be prepared to charge them whatever fee you need to compensate for that trip. Because I'm sure, as you read, Amazon's not going to pay any additional fees or charges if the stuff isn't receivable to their standards.
Right. Well, what that would wind up being is we're going to have it done from, as far as anybody you're involved with, that we're centralizing the shipping, is all going to be the same box. So that's not going to be an issue, and you're already prepping. The one thing I didn't know about yet is, are we going to be able to take all of it to one central location? In other words, even stuff that is technically going to through another Amazon center. See what I'm saying?
I mean, if I turn on IPS, we can, but I'd like to.
Yeah, but that's costing you more.
Yeah, I'd like to avoid that as much as possible. If it requires me to deliver, and the thing is, Charlotte's my primary one anyways, even when I'm undistributed. Right. So if I end up using you in conjunction with like Noel and some of the other guys, and we're giving you either LTL or even a full truckload, and you're just going to Charlotte and the rest of it's doing LTL through another partner carrier, like, I'm fine with that.
Right. And that's what we need to find out. There's a possibility if it's your stuff going. In other words, the question we had about me being able to handle somebody else's, that can be done with your shipment. It's just we're going to have to require that it be uniform with the way we're sending it into you, for you. The one thing we might need to, and you might be able to see this and know, is if prepping by like Noel is done the same as you do, there's probably no reason that each individual box is marked to where it's going once the Amazon center gets it. There's no reason that all that can't go on a mixed skid. See what I'm saying?
You mean from different people or two different fulfillment centers? No, whatever goes,
it all goes through to the same fulfillment center.
Yeah.
But from different Amazon people, their information's going to be on the outside of the box. So it's not going to matter so much going in. If it does, it'll just have to be a separate skid for them. It's not going to be a problem. It's still going to be all one shipment as far as the trucking company's concerned. Because that one label it said has to be on there, we'd have to get those made. That's our, I forget what it's called. I always forget it. But when I picked up for New Century, any skids we picked up, we always had to put those stickers on. Okay. And that's what it's a barcoded label that says who the trucking company is. I mean, we've got that. I had to get that to haul here, even though I never really understood why. But it's apparently something. that they use in their central system in Fort Wayne to identify a carrier, which is fun, and that's basically what it is.
Yeah. So I wonder, you kind of make me ask another question, and that's I wonder if the 150-pound minimum is to use an Amazon partnered carrier, because I would never ask you to do this, but in other words, if that's only with Amazon partnered LTL and we start using you to send in shipments and we can commingle on the same pallet and that outside label is only for the carrier, then that means when someone has one box they want to send in, we can facilitate, in theory, and just add it to a pallet. And then if
that's part of what we're going to have to find out kind of along the way, because initially we're only going to do this with your group initially to make sure that we got it down to Amazon standards. And this other stuff is information we'll need to know down the road, whether we, like, say I offered to know I'm in his facility all the time. Hey, I'll take your Charlotte LTL with me. Because he know when I'm coming, when it's going, and it'll help reduce yours. The way I'm looking at it right now, based on the amount that you are paying for basically, say, a half skid, 700 pounds, 800 pounds. We're obviously going to go to 1,500 pounds is probably a max for them anyhow. It may not just be for partner carriers. That may be their max. If it's not, we may eventually go bigger. If the product per box weighs that much, we'll go to a certain height on the skid is what we'll go by. Because they probably have a maximum on that. But we're not going to have to worry about that at this point. But I'm looking at it that based on the rate you got going down there, so that I keep the cost at or below what you were paying with your LTL now, the biggest advantage would be that your product, will be either put on the truck late one day and delivered the next, or picked up that morning and delivered that afternoon to Amazon. That's going to be your advantage at first when we hit and skid for port is where we got to be. Otherwise, you're better off to go ahead and pay the LTL unless we start getting regular stuff going for goal down towards Charlotte. And we work that. The way it looks, based on what I read, really all you need to do to get a scheduled dock time is 24 hours in advance. In other words, the day before. So all we need to do, if we were at a point where I'm doing those stuff down there on a regular basis, and we can coordinate it to have enough room on the truck without any issue, I could do less and still keep it at or below what you're paying for the partner carrier. You know what I'm saying? I just have to have it on the front, put old stuff on the back, go down there, deliver, and then take your stuff to the dock.
What'd you say the total number was that we need to get to?
I'm looking at 10 skids based on what you paid for your first skid.
Okay.
You know, there's still going to be a cost like bringing, but it's going to be minimal compared to that. Overall, your cost is still going to be significantly less. He called me last night. I'm going to pick up 2 7/16 OSB. That's a little bigger than a half inch. I guess you knew that. No, it's right at half inch. just to lay on the ground there instead of those boards.
Yeah.
And OSP will handle the weather enough, and I'm just going to put those in there, more for my benefit than anything. But he had suggested it, and he said bring about 6. Well, I don't need 6. If we're taking 4 skids, I'm going to be able to put 2 on each one.
Well, it'll be
side by side.
Yeah.
It'll be 3 this time, I know.
Okay.
But what I'm saying, and that'll still give him enough room to stack these, because I told him more than likely, we're going to plan on that his stuff coming back is basically going to not be palletized. Now, I may palletize it until we get more on the truck delivering after him.
Yeah.
That's kind of going to be my feel, because that's something I'm going to have to coordinate as I get more volume on that truck. But yeah, there's not any reason why I wouldn't be able to handle those. It's just going to be a matter of whether it can be, like you say, commingled on one of your skids. It may have to stay separate.
I'm going to test it. I can test that.
You can?
Yeah, because all that happens, if I send it in and it's screwed up, like I just had one hit the warehouse. I have no idea how this happened, but I swear there were 50 different problems with it. And they say, hey, there's a problem, and you click on resolve, and you can investigate it or you can acknowledge it. And because I figure there's always room for human error, and most of the time when one of my products goes missing, they automatically reimburse me. I double check them, but without me knowing for a fact that I sent one in and they're saying they didn't get it, or they say they didn't get it and I did send it in, it's too difficult for me to sit there and investigate every single one. That slows down my process.
Yeah.
So I go in, I acknowledge each problem, and then I continue on with my life. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change one variable at a time. But number one is when the stuff goes to Charlotte, I've seen it split into multiple shipments before. So I'm going to create both of those shipments, and one will probably be either one book or one box. I'm going to combine it on the same pallet and send it in and see what happens.
Right.
And if it doesn't pop up with a problem, then that means the box labels need to be correct, but the pallet labels are for the carrier, just like you said.
Right. Yep. If it doesn't. Okay, we can work that out with what you're saying. I don't think we're going to be able to commingle another carrier's product, though, because it looked to me that the shipping papers are going to have to show that there's another carrier stuff, another distributor stuff on there.
Yeah.
So it would have to be a separate skid, which isn't a problem. I mean, if you wind up being able to commingle your stuff to different locations, that still makes it easier to bring somebody else in to ship it that way.
Yeah. I'll figure it out. I'll poke the bear.
Yeah. I'm still curious, and we got time to figure it out. Since you start doing customer drop-off, basically, is what I'd call it.
Okay.
If we get to the point that we find out that if you're doing self drop-off and you can send everything to the same place without it costing you more, that'd be nice. Even if it's got to be broken down by skids. Know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Say your stuff tells you got to have, most of it, 80% of it's going to Charlotte, and then you've got other stuff that's on a skid and it's going to Kansas City.
Dallas.
But yeah, you've got other locations, and it may be required that you've got to have the pallets broke down, but you can still drop it off at one, and it doesn't cost, or if it does cost you more, it's not anywhere close to the LTL rate partner carrier. Why not do it? Because see, what I'm looking at is when that stuff goes through their warehouse, they're already, because I talked to them about it, they're already sending trucks to those other locations.
Yeah.
So if all they got to do is basically, freight handle that they're picking the skid up off this truck when it comes off, and they've got a truck on the dock, down at the other end of the warehouse, and all they got to do is take it down there and put it on the truck that's going to Dallas. It may cost you a little, but it may be far less than actually having to have partner carrier pick it up that's going to get it there.
I got to figure out. I'd be willing to test that too, but the problem. Okay, so I either need to figure out who I can talk to get answers on that, or I have to wait until you're doing my deliveries to test it.
Yeah.
Because
we may have to, and it's not at this point. It's not a big rush. It's just information for the future.
Yeah. Well, the reason I would have to wait for you is because if I do an LTL now, and I feel like if they pick up, I'd have to take a look at the workflow again, because you're giving me some good things to think about. But in my mind, the way the workflow goes when I schedule the LTL, I mean, if it's headed to Indiana and I try to combine two pallets on the same truck, when that company picks up, they're going to go, okay, well, this one is going to Charlotte, and this one you have to wait for the other company to come get, because we're not going to Indiana.
Now, in a way, that driver already had information. I was kind of surprised he knew.
Yeah.
If you start having the same guy picking up for AAA, you may be able to ask him stuff like that, and he might know. Or after you get a little rapport with him, you might ask him about getting the name of somebody with Cooper that we can talk to, or whoever does most of your pickup.
Yeah.
Because the one scheduling their freight on the dock, there's a good chance they'd be able to tell us for sure.
Yeah. Well, if you, it depends on what time they pick up, but Ken and I scheduled his pickup for Friday.
Yeah.
So if you're down there, then you might get to see a little bit of what that looks like, and if we're looking at any problems or anything. But I can't remember.
Now, you don't know who that is yet, do you?
I can't remember. I haven't gotten to BOL.
Did you already get a name on it? Oh, you didn't? Okay.
Yeah, I get a name as soon as I schedule it, but the BOL takes 24 hours to come through. So once I get that email, I'll let you know who the company is, and then he's got his hand truck, so he's going to take the boxes out and stack them. And then I had an issue with the stretch wrap where I was wasting it because I was in a hurry when I did that other pallet. So he's going to help me fix that, and then Friday it's going out. So if you happen to be down there, then you might get some more information to help us out.
I need to check Noel and find out if he or when he might know if I have other stuff on the truck for Friday.
Forget that.
Yeah, well, see, I'm already considering how I'm going to handle your stuff, and possibly Noel's as well. The quickest and easiest to deliver this stuff when it might possibly be raining. And I'm looking at likely putting another piece of E-track in my truck, a little higher than what I've already got, and put a roll of probably like 10 mil plastic that's not folded, that's a straight, probably 6 foot, on the wall so that when I put the boxes in there, I can take a 10 mil piece of plastic, stick it over top of the Gaylord, the top of it, and just take cellophane packing tape and tape that piece of plastic around the top of the Gaylord tight.
Yeah.
And that way we don't have to worry about if it's raining a little bit or even a lot. You know, no matter what I got to do off the lift gate, won't be a problem.
Okay.
I'd still like to make covers, obviously, that would stay down there just because of knowing where he's keeping the stuff.
Yeah.
That I need to make out of tarp material so that the eyelets are in it. Of course, I can put eyelets in other plastics as well. But just make it so you can take a couple bungee cords or whatever and keep it tied down over the skid, even if the weather gets a little windy and stuff, it stay down tight on it, yet it's just removable without tape.
Yeah.
I got a feeling he keeps it up. I'm going to be down there and help him cover the sides of his carport.
Yeah, I was supposed to get him tarps, and then I was going to talk to you on Sunday, and you said you had some ideas and plans, and he just wants tarps.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I might just get him a couple of 12x16s, like he asked, and go from there.
I don't know that I'd go that big. I'd go more, if possible, to go closer to the side. 8x8 would do one pallet.
Okay.
And you got the eyelets on the side of the tarp where either rope or bungee cords will hold it down.
Yeah.
And probably for inside, make sure that if water does get to it, it doesn't just lay there over top of the stuff. A cheap ball, a beach ball, or an old basketball, something, old soccer ball. You put the ball right there in the middle of it, and it's the highest point, so that all the water will run off it.
Yeah.
Know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right.
It's like I tell everybody, we met that one girl selling the books in the thrift store, and she had the cool little barcode scanner around her neck, and she was happy that she sold 2 items that day. But if you sell 2 items that grosses you $70, the rule of thirds say, you know, that was bad for math, but you're going to see roughly, you know, $22 net from that. And then you take $10 and you put it in your gas tank, and $10 more and buy a Subway sandwich or a meal or something. Then you got $2 left to buy more books. You're not properly reinvesting in your business, so you can't grow. And now after a year of doing this, you feel like you're getting pocket change. So,
All right. Well, I got to go. I'm sitting out here parked on the street. I'll talk to you later.
all right, appreciate the call.
All right. We'll see you.
All right, bye.